Hey guys! So, are you like me? Dreaming for a white Christmas always? I'm sure if Pinoy ka, if taga-Pilipinas ka, or you're someone living in Asia or in tropical country whereas there's no snow, and most of the time it's just warm. And if there's only two weathers like summer and rainy season, then for sure I will place my bet that you are dreaming of a white Christmas like me. I mean, snow is really magical, and snow is something that you want to experience at least once in your life. But for me, I've experienced snow and winter several times already, but I must say I'm still not over it yet. I'm still looking forward to my next winter trip, to my next snow experience. And I remember it clearly, wherein I'm really targeting my itinerary to certain places, even if it's far, wherein I am sure that I can see snow, that I can feel snow, because I am that excited for it. Not only because, you know, if it's winter, the outfits or your fashion would be a little bit cuter, because I think the warm clothes is very nice to look at. I mean, it's not every day that you can try to use that, right? So it's, you want to maximize the jackets, the coats that you've purchased, like in Uniqlo or in Zara, in Mango, Stradivarius, etc. Right? So there. So for today, I want to limit my sharing into my recommended place, a guaranteed place wherein you can experience white Christmas, particularly in the US. So we will concentrate in US, and my recommendation will be defined into two categories. First would be access, meaning it would be easy for you to go to that place. It's not that difficult, it's not complicated. And second would be the price, the budget, because although the notion of the people is, if you fly or if you travel during December, although you want to travel, most of the time the prices are high. And although you have your 13th month, your bonus, your Christmas holiday bonus paycheck, of course you would want to budget and really maximize whatever you have, because you still need to shop for gifts that you want for your family, and friends, and to also have good food during Noche Buena or during Christmas Eve or even the New Year's, etc, etc. So I have 5 in my list, and those are based on my actual experience again. And there, I can't wait to go back. But first, I'll share with you what are those 5 places that I recommend, and I assure you that you can experience white Christmas. But again, you already saw some snippets a while ago, and I hope you got excited with it, because those are my fun memories of winter season and having Christmas in the US. And I want you also to at least have your own core memory with it. No problem if you'll do it on your own. I mean, solo travel is my thing. Or also if you can share it with your family. I mean, Christmas season is always for family, for gathering, for reunion, even for your friends. So I think it's really the best time for you to relax and even reset before you enter a new year, and before you work again and strive hard with your life. So there. Okay. So 5th on my list would be it includes 2 areas, but I will put it in one place or one category. It's about deserts, or something, an area which is very popular because you need to climb. If you're like the adventurous type and you really want to be far from the city, then winter specifically December, Christmas season, would be the best time for you to go to Joshua Tree, California, and or Nevada. So Joshua Tree, if you are a YouTube fan, it is literally, oops, sorry about that. It is literally the Joshua Tree album. So it's very popular because it's a desert wherein it's very peaceful, and there's only a certain type of plant that is growing there. And it's also popular because it's nearby Los Angeles and even San Diego, so it's very accessible. It's far from the people, so if you are still concerned because of COVID and you don't want to be in the city, then I think that is one of the perfect place for you to visit in the US, especially if you want to maximize your trip and you want to see snow. And I think it's also unique because not everyone would get to experience a picture, especially if you want to post on Instagram, wherein your backdrop is very naturey, very adventurous, and for sure you're the only person, or there's only very few of you who's in the background. I mean, you have your own place there. And another advantage of going to Joshua Tree in December is that accommodations there is very beautiful, but it's also expensive. And since it's a low season in December for Joshua Tree, for sure, I guarantee you guys, you can book the best accommodation with no competition. You will not be worried even if you book late, and at a reasonable price. So you get everything as a win for you, right? So I think that's really an advantage that you don't want to miss. And also Nevada is very accessible also from San Diego or from Los Angeles, and it's very popular because it could also be a shopping district. But if you want to go to the mountains of Nevada, it's also the best time for you to go there because it's low season. There's only a few people who go there, and definitely there's snow. I mean, it's a high place, so be sure to come prepared. It's definitely an enjoyable experience. So if you're tired of being in the mountain, you can go in the city and go to the strip and shop and eat some food, indulge, and if you want, you can also go to another state which is nearby, which, as I've mentioned, is or San Diego, Los Angeles, or San Francisco if you want. So you can also drop by Disneyland, which is very accessible, and other popular areas in nearby state. There's also San Diego Zoo, which is also nice. But of course, if you really want to stay put, chill, because your theme is really to reset and to be quiet and just to stay put, but to have a different nature, then I suggest you go to Nevada and or Joshua Tree. So that's 5th on my list. 4th would be, I would have to recommend Utah. Utah is it's a very nice place, and I feel that although it's not a direct comparison, but I feel like it's like your primer for Africa. I know Africa is a different continent, it's a different place, and it's a different experience altogether, but the vibe is kind of similar. Of course, there's no pyramid, but it's a nice backdrop wherein you can go to like a camper van and take an overnight or even a week-long stay there, and the backdrop is really, really beautiful. You know what you're seeing in Pinterest or in Instagram if you search for Utah. So there's like a brown rock formation or mountain there, wherein you can see 24/7 with wild animals, which is free. So your only shell out would be really your transportation and even your van. I suggest to have a camper van, or you can also book an accommodation which is nearby and just go to the sites on your desired schedule. So in that way, that will be very flexible for you. But I must say, it's very relaxing. It's very healing for you guys. So that's fourth on my list. Third on my list would be Colorado. Colorado is not really a popular state, at least for Filipinos, or at least from what I know, or even in Asians. But it's very popular for a place for skiing. So if you aspire, or if you want to ski other than your usual spots, then Colorado would be the place to go. It's nearby Chicago. It's nearby the more popular states in the US. But I must say, if you don't want to be bombarded with several people, then I think Colorado would be better for you. And chocolates and even milk is very popular there. It's very delicious, and it's cheaper there than trying it in Chicago or even in New York, San Francisco, etc. So it's a win-win. Food is nice, you get to ski, there's winter, there's snow, and it's cheap and it's very accessible. So I think overall Colorado is really a win. And for sure, you'll get a chance to experience some secret gems, right? I mean, not all mainstream places are the only places that you need to visit. Sometimes the ones that are not so popularized are the more magical place, because I mean, it's like a virgin place wherein not all people have visited there, so they haven't really commercialized the place. So you can take advantage of the naturalness of the place, and you get the vibe, and definitely it's a lesser budget needed for you to explore that area or that country. And then second on my list would be the capital of US, which is Washington. So Washington is where you can see the White House and the Senate, right? So it's the center of the US state. And actually, until January, at least second week of January, you can expect a very, very cheap flight and even accommodation and food in Washington. The reason why it's very cheap on that season, even if it's Christmas, I mean, in general, it should be a peak season, right? It's because the usual reason why you go to Washington is because you want to have a business meeting with a certain personality, or you have a transaction within the government or in the White House, or you aspire to see a public official, etc., etc. And of course, during this Christmas season, everyone is on break. I think that's also one of the reasons why we all love the holidays. It's really a time for us to have a break and not to work. So all important places, if they can, they really close their offices or their establishments, right? And they close it within like second half of December. So it's really towards December 25 until first week of January. Not only during New Year's and Christmas or even Christmas Eve, but not to worry, because there are other establishments that you can still visit even if it's Christmas season. I mean, they're very popular in terms of the museums. And there's also play, Charles Dickens, the very popular Charles Dickens Christmas Carol. And they have several shows, international shows, which is very cheap also during the season. And NBA, you can also watch NBA, even other sports. So I think that's the best time for you to watch and relax also. And the best thing is it's not that expensive and lesser people because it's snow season, right? And my number one on my list, based again on my actual experience, of course, I must admit I haven't visited all the states in the United States, but at least wherever I've visited, these are the recommendations that I have for you guys, for you to really experience winter and snow on a low budget, but it's still very accessible. So my number one on my list is, it may be a shock to many of you, but I know it's a dream of many people, including me previously, is New York. So believe it or not, New York is a highly recommended place to visit during the holiday season, specifically in December until January, because it's a low season for New York. You know what happens is, if you are a local in New York or even in US, the typical move that you want would be to go to a warmer place because you've experienced already winter and even snow all your life, every day. Excuse me. So, most probably, they will go to Florida, they will go to Miami, and those nearby areas, because that's where you can have, or you can experience, an accessible, warmer place within the US. So, us, as tourists, it is our time to experience New York, which is concrete jungle, where dreams are made of. There's nothing that you can do. So, it's now already a song. But literally, seriously, I think it's also one of the best time because lesser people, fewer lines on the top destinations. You can go to the edge, and there's this new top destination called the Vessel, which is very, very pretty. But please just really plan your stay if you plan to extend until the New Year's Eve because of the ball drop. I mean, of course, everyone wants to aspire to experience that at least once in their life. But I suggest for you to just book a nearby hotel there, or at least watch it on television. Or if you want, you can walk around Times Square days before the New Year's Eve, and you can see already the ball, which is very, very small. I tell you, it's really, really, really tiny. And just imagine, you need to, if you want to experience the ball drop, I mean, you can always do, it's free, but there are several people and you cannot go out of that line, or else you'll need to search again for another good spot, which I'm sure it will be hard again. And you need to go there as early as like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. To enable to assure you to get that spot already. So, and I'm sure if you will roam around New York City, and if you will just go to the ball drop event just because you want to see celebrities, then if you go around New York City within the holiday season, there's a higher chance for you to also bump into them. So, you know, maximize your itinerary, plan it very well. And yet there's so many things that you can do in New York, plus the food. Oh my gosh, all the food trucks. I mean, you can always do fine dining, but you can also drop by a more accessible food, like in the food truck or even in Times Square. If you're a Filipino and you are homesick, there's already Jollibee in New York, or even in other areas, in other Asian countries. I know Jollibee is also popular already, and there's also Shake Shack. And if you want to have a healthier choice, you know, I know that Shake Shack there also offers a replacement of a bread, which is lettuce instead of a bread. And then there's patty, which is plant-based. So I think that's a that's a unique version of Shake Shack, because I know for sure I've tried Shake Shack in Dubai, which is the original Shake Shack. There is no lettuce option. It's only a real sandwich or a real burger into that. So there, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you've learned and you try to explore these places that I recommended to you. And I assure you, these are very accessible and also affordable during the Christmas season. Enjoy, guys! Happy holidays!